video walkthrough on a Hurricane. We'll start in the back. You do have a ladder, so there's a walkable roof, and I recommend you going up there and inspecting your roof and your sealant around all the fixtures on the roof just to make sure everything is kosher. Come on down. You do have a receiver, so you can tow with this. You do have an 8,000 pound towing capacity with a 500 pound tongue weight. 7-way. This will be good if you're got a little boat trailer or even a bike rack, or if you tow your vehicle behind you. Over here, your rear dump area, you got some knobs. These two right here will be your low points. This one back here is going to be your drain for your fresh tank. Then you have your drains for your rear bathroom, gray and black. Sewer cap, I always recommend making sure these valves are all the way closed before you take your sewer cap off, because you might make a mess. And you do have a black tank flush here, so you can hook a hose to here as you're dumping your black tank. It'll flush out the black tank. And then I always recommend doing your black first, letting that get empty, then doing your gray. That'll flush out that hose. Shore cord, it's your shore cord. It'll come with it. It's 50 amp. Just twist this on, and then twist this on, and then you can secure it with that if you want to. To the left of that, cable inlet. So if you're going somewhere that provides cable, you can hook up cable to there. Not many places still provide cable, but it's an option. Water heater, super simple. It's already set up for you guys to use. All you gotta do is hook water to it. It'll start filling automatically. Once you're done, you can kick it on. I think this is gas and electric. Then you're good to go. Now, I definitely recommend draining it after every weekend trip or whatever, or even week long. Use it for after the week. When you're done, drain all the water out of it, because you don't want it to sit in there. It'll get stagnant. Before you drain the water, pull your pressure relief. Water will come out just like it is. Once it stops coming out, so there might be water in here. We need to drain this for you, and then we'll get it all set up. Put the plug back in. Relieve the pressure. Once the pressure is relieved, then you can take this off. 15/16 is the socket size. I like to use a socket and a wrench, an extension with a ratcheting wrench. That makes it easier. They do make an actual like box end wrench you can get for it. I always end up like scraping my knuckles on everything. And then you're good to go. If you neglect to drain your pressure first and you try to take this plug out, you're gonna get a bath. And if you've been running it, you're gonna get a hot bath, and that's gonna be no fun at all. And then other than that, clean in here quite often. I would say every quarter, 4 times a year. Just making sure nothing catches on fire. If you get like spider webs and they catch on fire and the flame licks up over here and touches this, it trips this thermal fuse and your water heater won't work. Yep. And then you just push it closed, pull this little tab out, rotate it, and you can run it closed like that. Outdoor shower. I call it a shower, but they use that term loosely because it'd be pretty short to shower out here. But you do have hot and cold. It's good. If the kids want to shower outside, or if you got pets that were playing in the mud, you can spray them down before you let them go inside. To the right of that, city water connection. Site provides water. This is where you're going to want to hook your hose up to, and then it'll run off of city water pressure, and you won't need to run your pump. Left of that, same deal, just for the different bathroom. You got black and gray up there, and then another black tank flush. Got plenty of storage underneath. So you got some storage there. This might be something different. Yep, access to your generator, so you can take that panel off and do any maintenance. You can also start and stop it from outside if you need to. Yep, even more storage than this, I believe. Yep, there's your batteries right there. And then access to your hydraulic pump. And then you have a little bit of storage in there. I wouldn't store stuff you hardly use, and just be careful because it can fall to the ground. Going around, the front's up, so you have access to your chassis battery, your windshield wiper fluid, any vehicle maintenance you need to do up here, you can. Moving right along. Right here, more storage. Passes through to the other side, so if you have like a ladder, you can stretch it across. Same deal over here. Oop. Do have an outdoor TV, which is nice. You can have the awning open a little bit, watch TV outside. It's really nice. Just be careful, these struts have a lot of force behind them. You don't want to get bopped in the chin when you open this, so just be careful. Exhaust for your furnace. Just like all your other appliances, keep this clean. Clean it often. If you're going to use compressed air, be careful. Shoot from the side. You don't want to blow anything further into there. They do make screens for these. They don't recommend you run them with the screen on. It just restricts airflow. But that's good for when you're going down the road or when you're storing it. It's going to keep anything from building a nest in there. It's going to keep road debris out of there. To left, or to underneath rather, you have your compartment for your propane. The easiest way to tell which one is your propane compartment, it'll be the only compartment that doesn't lock. And that's for an emergency, in case you have to quickly shut the propane off. You don't have to fumble with keys. And on and off here, pretty simple. You got a gauge over there. You can have it on and going down the road, running your furnace if you wanted to, but I always recommend just having it off, and we'll turn it off now. That way when you receive this, it is off. And then refill propane. When you run out, you can come back here and fill it. There's a couple other places that do propane, onboard propane fills. I think some campgrounds do. You have outdoor power. It's GFCI protected. All your GFCIs are on the same circuit. If one's going to trip, they're all going to trip. And then we'll show you where to reset it when we get inside. More storage. And if you notice, all these storage compartments have these little plugs in there. So if you wanted to spray them down to clean them, you can just drain the water out easily that way. Fresh tank fill. So if you're going somewhere that doesn't provide water, you can fill your onboard fresh tank. Or if you're just traveling across the country and you want to be able to use the water while you're going down the road, you fill your onboard fresh tank. Then you use your pump to pull water from your fresh tank. Don't jam your hose in there. Just rest it in there. You're not trying to pressurize it. And then when you see water squirting out of here, you know you're full. It'll come out here and around the hose. But I don't like it to get to that point. I always monitor its progress on the monitoring panel inside. So I stop as soon as it says full. More storage. Again, passes all the way through the other side. Plenty tall. You got light in there for seeing if you're getting in here in the dark. This would be good for like firewood and your fire equipment and stuff like that. You do have a propane quick disconnect out here. So if you do have a grill that can operate off your propane quick disconnect, you can do that. And that's great. If you have a long enough hose, you can snake it up out here. That way you don't have to use one of those green bottles, or you can use your own propane supply. And then in the back, storage here. And then you can see these right here. These are your gray and black tanks. All right. We'll close this up. That's pretty much it for the outside. A few more things. Your seals for your slide outs. You just want to watch to make sure they're not dry or cracked or anything like that. Make sure they're still soft. If they start getting bad, I recommend taking this in and getting slide out maintenance done. Or you can buy the necessary materials to do it yourself. Alright, we'll head on in. Alright, now we're moving on to the inside. Start in the driver's area. Got your keys here. So, we'll start on the steering wheel. You got your controls for your cruise control on or off. All your set and coast and reset buttons right there. Over down here, you have buttons to scroll through your menu here. Info, trip meter, miles to empty, hours, engine hours. Pretty simple, pretty basic, good information to have. Right down over here, you got buttons for fog lights. Turn on fog lights. Get emergency start. What emergency start is, if your chassis battery is dead, you can't get your engine started, you can hold your emergency start. And then as you're holding that, crank over your engine, and that diverts power from your house battery to your chassis battery to allow you to start it. Right up here, got your auto leveling. So turn that on. So when you do it, I recommend having your parking brake all the way on. And this is your parking brake down here, this pedal right there. And that's your release right there. And then you release your keys onto accessory, or even on. Then that's on. You can hit auto level. Now when you're doing this, if you have kids, make sure they're not running around inside. And if you start it, just sit and stay in the driver's seat and let it do its thing. If you move around too much and shift your weight, it's going to throw the system off. Alright, and as it's doing that, we can come over here. Got good information over here. Got your VIN, gross vehicle weight rating, everything like that. So that's good information. But the real good information is right here. 95 psi. That's your cold tire pressure. Make sure that's what you fill your tires up to. Not what's printed on the tires, but what's printed right here. And you do have heated mirrors, and then power mirrors, so you can adjust them without having to go outside, which is a nice feature. Some of them you have to actually open your windows and manually adjust them. Come over here, got your radio, so you can hit this mode, brings you to the main radio. These control your radios, your channels right there. Then you have, it's like your band, you do stereo. And then you have presets, push and hold down here to save a preset. If you're not ready, you want to do radio, you can go to Bluetooth music right here. Or USB, have a music through a flash drive on a USB. SD card, you can hook an SD card in over here. Bluetooth your phone to this, have Bluetooth phone, Bluetooth music. Then you do have auxiliary in right here. There you go, auto leveling's done. It'll say auto level success. And then when you want to take off and leave for your trip, which you do, hit down on this arrow. It'll say auto retract all, hit enter to begin, hit enter. And it retracts all the jacks. Alright, sorry about that little distraction with the leveling system. You can go back there again, hit rear camera. You can have your rear camera set so it's always on, so you can see if people are tailgating you, or you can, when you switch into reverse, it'll switch on. It actually needs to be, engine needs to be running for that to be doing that. But you hit in reverse, it'll turn the reverse camera on. And then you do have, yep, turn signal cameras. So turn left, turn right. You have cameras on the end of your mirrors, which is good if you're changing lanes. You don't want to smash into somebody. You do have a bed lift above your cab. Before you use it, you want to pull that pin out. And this pin out. Then you want to make sure this key in here, right here, is to the on position. And then you can raise and lower your bed accordingly, which is nice. Then here's your main control panel, so you can read how full your propane is, your battery, your fresh tank, your black and gray, your rear bathrooms, and then your black and gray for your mid bathroom. You can read that all here. It'll read on these lights here. Then you have controls for your slide outs, extend and retract. Those usually need to be engine running, emergency brake on for your slide outs to operate. Little tip about this slide: if you're a taller person or you like to have your chair lean back when you're driving, just make sure you have it moved forward because sometimes you'll have your slide out scrape the back of your chair. Similar deal with your bed. If you need to, lean your chairs back a little bit so it can clear instead of hitting the tops of these and smashing them down and leaving marks all over them. Then you have controls for your water pump. Start and stop your water pump from here. Water pump, that's what you use if you're gonna pull from your fresh tank, your onboard fresh tank. Then you have your water heater on propane and electric. You can run them both at once. However, if you are going to use electric, make sure you have water in the water heater. If you don't have any water in there, you'll get about 10 minutes before that heating element is ruined. Then you have your controls for your generator, as well as your hours panel. So you can hold down stop on your generator. It should be priming it when you see that little light. And push up. Generator starts right up. And when you're ready, hit stop. Now when you're using a generator, you start it, let it get warmed up before you run any appliances off of it. Before you turn your AC on, before you turn your microwave on. You want it to be warmed up before you put a load on it. Coming down here, you got some light switches. This light down, we'll turn these lights off, we'll turn them off. There'll be another switch that's reversed, just like having two switches in your house that control the same light. And over here, awning lights. And right below that, you have auto start stop for your generator, so you can enable it. So if it were to lose power, the campground were to lose power, the generator will automatically kick on. Right below that, you have your inverter panel. Hit that green button, turns the inverter on. That way you can use your fridge off of your battery. And all an inverter does is it converts 12 volt into 120. And usually all that will do will allow you to operate your fridge, and then sometimes there's a lot of the times it'll operate this outlet that's right there. So if you're going down the road and like someone's using a laptop and they're charging it, you can have that inverter on, letting the laptop or whatever you have plugged into that outlet stay on. And over here you have step light, just that little light there. That does help at night. If you're leaving at night, you don't trip on anything. Then you have step. You can turn on and off your step. So let's demonstrate that. If it's on, every time you close the door, it'll retract. Every time you open it, it'll extend. But if you turn it off, it will just stay out. Oh. Unless the key's in the ignition like they are. When the keys are in the ignition, it will always come in as a safety feature. So when you take off to go down the road, you're not taking off with a 12 inches of step hanging out your edge. And then next to that, you have awning. Just sit down. You don't have to hold it. It'll keep going. And then you just hit up to stop it. It won't stop by itself. Now, these awnings don't have any adjustment for pitch or anything. And the way they're designed, you don't want them open when it's super windy, super rainy. But if you have it out and it starts raining, it's good. If it starts pouring down rain, starts getting huge gusts of wind, roll your awning up. That way the wind doesn't rip it off. And then if you roll it in wet, as soon as you get the chance to, roll it back out. When it's sunny, let the water dry off before you roll it back in again. And that's it for over there. We'll just come right across here. This turns into a bed. All you do right down here, take this little bar right here, flip it over, you push down. You'd go further than that, but you'd have to move these cushions out of the way so the bed can set on these little shelves right here. And then you just take these back cushions, lay them there. You got a nice bed. One people, maybe two smaller people will be able to fit there. Flip the bar over. You got storage right over here. Nice storage compartment right there. Microwave, only going to work when you're plugged in or off your generator. Other than that, it works just like your microwave at home. You have a vent, surface light, and you have all kinds of features. Cooktop, the old glass cover right here. Flip up and fold it over. To light it, all you do is turn it to light. Twist your sparker, she lights right up. Same for all three of these. Your oven's a little differently. Works a little differently. You have to go down there. You see that pilot in there? You have to turn this to the pilot. Push and hold as you're pushing and holding that. Get a barbecue lighter or a match or whatever to light that pilot. Once the pilot is lit, you can then turn it to whatever temperature you want. Now, if you plan on cooking again and you don't feel like having to relight your pilot, if you turn it off, but you turn it to pilot, when you turn it off, it shuts your burners off, but leaves the pilot on. However, I always recommend turning that off before you go to bed. Just for safety, you don't want to leave a lit pilot overnight. Fridge, super simple. It's basically a residential style fridge. Got yourself an ice maker in there. We even got ice in there. And then you have your freezer temperature adjustment right there. And then your fridge temperature adjustment in there. I always recommend closing that like that when you travel so these doors don't swing open. And if you're storing this through the winter, I recommend leaving your fridge doors cracked open a little bit. Got yourself a TV in here. There should be a bag with some remotes. We'll find you some remotes. So here they are. Remote for the TV in here. And then it does. Let's see, there's a way to unlock it. Yep. Nope, it's just magneted to the wall. Just stuck to the wall. Actually, I do believe there is a way to unhook it. Yeah, let's see. Yep, if you just pull out on the TV, I wouldn't pull from the TV itself, but pull from the mount. It'll swivel out. That way if you're eating dinner or lunch or whatever at the table, you'll be able to see the TV clearly. This turns into a bed as well. Unlock this here right here. Let's see if we can't do this one-handed. Yep, pull this out. Oh, sorry, this doesn't turn into a bed. It'll turn into a L-shaped couch. Flip this up. Lock it out like that. This cushion lifts up. Just like that. Nice L-shaped couch. Just remember when you close your slide out to put everything back the way it was. So you just lift up. Push this down and in. Unlatch it. Push it in just like that. This does turn into a bed. Right here, remove these back cushions. Grab underneath, lift up, fold out and down, and then put these back cushions back where they were. You can also probably do it with the cushion still on. It's just a little bit more difficult. So, and here you have two more spots to sleep. Light switch here, turns on and off. Lights over there. These lights you turn on and off from clicking them in the middle, just like that. Light switch there, outlet there. You can move on over here. So we did install a combination washer and dryer for you guys. Very simple to use, on and off. You have all your cycles, dry time, wash temp, and then your little chart to tell you what does what is here, and this will indicate what it's currently doing at the time. This one's off of city water, or you can run it off your pump. And the combo ones are nice, takes up less space, so now you still have room to put some things up here. we'll go to your mid bathroom. Light switch to the right here. This is going to be the main GFCI I was talking about, the one, how they're all in the same circuit. This is the outlet you come in and reset it at. Other than that, your toilet, very simple. There's a little pedal right here. As long as you're pushing it, it's going to keep flushing it. And the nice thing about this toilet is it's porcelain. Feel like your toilet at home. Then right above you have your fan vent. Crank this open to open it. Get your lights, get your switch right here to turn the fan on and off. Definitely recommend using the fan if you've had some spicy food the night before. We'll come out, sneak our way back out through here. Come into the bedroom. Got another TV here. Nice thing about this TV is right behind here. You can grab this shelf, lift the TV up, access to plug in anything behind the TV. Secret storage back there. Nice. Light switches. Turns on and off. This one will be for your living room lights. Like I was telling you how those lights have 2 different switches to turn them on and off. One of them's here. To the right of that does your bedroom lights. Charging station, bunch of USBs and some outlets so you can have your phone sitting up here charging overnight. Here you got your thermostat controls. So cool, just for the AC back here. The on auto, it won't right now. It won't turn on because it's definitely below 60 degrees in here on auto. Auto is going to allow it to cycle on and off at whatever set temperature you have it on. If you just have it on high, it's going to run no matter what temperature it senses it is. That's why I always recommend auto. It's going to keep your AC from freezing up, from overrunning all the time. Then you have fan. It's just going to allow the fan on the AC to run. It won't actually turn the AC on. That compressor for the AC on. Very simple. There will be one more thermostat we need to cover. And then that should be it for the thermostats. Come to the bedroom. Right here, you got your ladder. This is going to be the ladder for that bed lift up front. You do got a radio over here. Power on. You have different zones. Zone A is inside. Zone B is outside. So you can turn the outside speakers off. Just have the inside ones on, or turn the inside ones, just have the outside ones off. You have auxiliary in. You can go band, different FMs for different sets of presets. You have AM. Then you have Bluetooth, hit Bluetooth. You look for Jensen JWM1A on your phone. Bluetooth your phone to this. You'll be able to listen to your own music from there. You can also cycle through modes here. Forward and backward on channels there. Bed right there. So not much storage underneath here. Nope, no storage underneath the bed actually. Right over here, got a propane and carbon monoxide gas alarm that is hardwired to the 12-volt system. There's no batteries. You guys have to worry about changing for that. Right over here, more clicking lights for above the bed. Plenty of storage in here. You do even have a table right here with a leg for it, so you can have a table set up. Let's see if we can zoom in. See that little gray thing? That's where you can put a table in between the driver and passenger seat. All right, we'll come into this bathroom. So all you gotta do to open this door, pull down on this, it unlocks it, allows it to slide open. Make sure you leave it open when you're traveling. That way it doesn't come unlatched and potentially get ruined from travel. Light switch for the bathroom. Shower, very self-explanatory, hot, cold. You do have this nice sliding shower door. Make sure you latch it like that when you travel so it doesn't swing open and closed and you come in and then you see your shower doors laying on the ground. So make sure you latch that closed. Toilet, just like your toilet up front. That's a pedal on the side. It's porcelain, just like that toilet is. Very nice. Another GFCI outlet. Again, this is labeled, so if this one trips, you go to the other bathroom and reset it. And then, same deal. Vent with a fan. I recommend running that if you're going to take a hot shower. You don't want any condensation sticking to these walls. You don't want moisture on them. That's pretty much it for the rear bathroom. So, got the one more thing I wanted to talk about. There's the other thermostat. This will run the AC up front and the furnace up front. Other than that, it works the same as auto high and low, fan low and high. Just like I said, I recommend leaving it on auto. That's going to allow your furnace and your AC to cycle on and off to help regulate whatever temperature you have it set at. Now, I'm not saying you can't run it on high. Well, that just means once it hits 55, it's just going to keep running, and then you risk your AC freezing up. And then what it'll do is it'll cycle on and off to try to defrost it, try to get some of that the frost off the coils. So if that happens and you run it consistently, turn it off. Run it on fan, so just have it on fan right here. Don't run the AC, and that'll just kind of circulate some of the warmer air outside to help thaw it out, so you'd be able to kick it on again. But if you had it running on auto, you won't have to do that because it will cycle on and off to help regulate your set temperature. A few more things we glossed over. Smoke alarm uses 9-volt batteries. If this starts giving you those low voltage chirps, just replace the battery in it. And then to the right of that, you have your antenna. Push up and turn to rotate it. Try to tune in a signal. There's no cranking up you have to do like the old school antennas. So you don't have to worry about it being lowered before you travel. That's just to help turn it if you can't get a good enough signal. Alrighty then. Well, there's one more thing I'm going to tell that when we're done so I can demonstrate it. Right over here. We were over here before, but I want to show you this now. This is your main power disconnect. So you hit up on it, you can hear it, a little solenoid activate. That's disconnecting the battery from everything. Since this is plugged in, the lights won't turn on. But if it was unplugged and I hit this, and this light turns off, that means your batteries are disconnected. That means even if you had all the lights on, disconnect the batteries, all the lights will shut off. Now the thing about this is this unit does plugged in, excuse me, does get charged when you're plugged in. But if you had your battery disconnected, the charge won't reach the batteries. So if you're charging it by having it plugged in, make sure you turn all your lights off. Make sure your main power is on, plug it in so the charge can reach the battery. And then another thing, the radio on the dashboard won't work if the battery is disconnected either. Alright, well that concludes your virtual tour of your Thor Hurricane. I hope this video was informative. And then I hope you guys really enjoy this camper, get lots of good use out of it.